success and abundance. Think of fear as resistance in the gym. Without resistance, muscles never grow.
Never.
Without challenges, character never strengthens. Without fear, faith has no chance to expand. The strongest men and women in history did not eliminate fear. They trained themselves to move forward with it, to use it as fuel for action instead of an excuse for retreat. Napoleon Hill himself declared, "The starting point of all achievement is desire." Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results. Just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat, fear is the natural test of that desire. If your vision is weak, fear will crush it. But if your desire is strong, fear becomes the forge that shapes it into steel. Let me give you an example. Imagine two entrepreneurs, both with a business idea. The first one says, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose everything? And so, they never act. The second one asks the same questions but responds differently. Yes, I might fail, but what if I succeed? What if people believe in me? What if this changes my family's future forever?
Wow.
One sees fear as a wall, the other sees it as a door. The one who acts finds out the truth. The one who waits forever. Here's the secret. Fear always shows up before your greatest opportunities. If you are not afraid, you are not aiming high enough, if you don't feel resistance, you're still playing small. Fear is simply energy, raw power, waiting to be redirected. You can waste it by feeding doubt, or you can harness it by choosing courage. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in spite of fear. It's waking up and saying, yes, I'm terrified, but I move anyway. That decision rewires the mind. Each time you override fear, you train your subconscious that you not fear are in command, the wealthy, the disciplined, the resilient. They all share this trait. They turn fear into a compass. When something scares them, they lean in, knowing that fear highlights the very place where growth is hiding. Fear says, don't go there. Courage responds, that's exactly where I must go. So here is your morning affirmation. Fear is fuel. I do not run from it. I convert it into focus, into action, into unstoppable momentum. Start to see fear not as an obstacle, but as an invitation. When fear shows up, it is simply asking, how much do you really want this? Your answer is not in your words, it's in your action. Every time you act in the face of fear, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that the voice of doubt is weaker than the voice of discipline. And the more you practice this, the more fear becomes not a signal of danger, but a signal of direction. Remember this truth. Fear will always exist, but so will courage. And the one you feed is the one that grows. Success is not a mystery. It is a system, and the first law of that system is clarity. Without clarity, your energy is scattered, your focus is divided, and your actions are wasted. With clarity, even ordinary effort becomes extraordinary, because every step is aligned, every decision has direction, and every habit compounds toward a single outcome. Most people do not fail because they lack intelligence or opportunity. They fail because they drift. They wake up each morning without a plan, without a target, and without discipline. They let the world decide their focus emails, notifications, gossip,
Hello, Adrian.
distractions. By the end of the day,
Blessed and grateful.
they are exhausted, but empty.
Just started, right?
Busy, but unproductive. Why? Because they poured energy into everything except what truly mattered. Clarity is the antidote. It is the ability to say, this is who I am. This is where I am going. This is what I must do today to get there. Once you know that, everything else becomes noise. Napoleon Hill wrote extensively about the importance of a definite chief aim, a clear, specific, a burning purpose that dominates your thoughts and guides your actions. Clarity is not just knowing what you want, it is removing what you don't. When your vision is blurred, distractions multiply. Distractions lose their power. Think of it this way. A magnifying glass can take ordinary sunlight and, when held steady, ignite fire, but without focus. The same sunlight warms
It should say
nothing.
the starting time
Your
on
life works the same
the
way.
feed, mate.
A clear mind, held steady on a clear aim,
But
creates
yes,
power.
just started
scattered
6
mind
minutes and 32
creates
seconds ago.
frustration. Here's a practical truth. Clarity does not appear by accident. It is designed
Welcome,
every
Jiniho
evening
Josemar on YouTube.
before you go to bed. Write down the 3 most important actions for tomorrow, the ones that move you closer to your vision. Not 10, not 20, just 3. This forces you to prioritize. Then, when you wake up, you already know your mission. You don't waste time deciding, you execute. This small habit is a weapon. It transforms chaos into order. It prevents you from falling into the trap of busyness, and over time, it builds momentum. Imagine doing 3 meaningful things every day for 1 year. That's over 1,000 focused victories. While others drown in distraction, you rise in discipline. Clarity also means aligning your actions with your values. If wealth is your aim, your habits must reflect it: saving, investing, creating value, expanding skills. If health is your aim, your daily structure must reflect it: movement, nutrition, recovery. If personal growth is your aim, your environment must reflect it: reading, learning. Surrounding yourself with people who sharpen you. The clearer your values, the easier it becomes to say no to what dilutes them. The wealthy, the powerful, the disciplined, they do not allow confusion to lead their days. They design their days with precision. They guard their mornings, structure their hours, and eliminate distractions with ruthless intent. This is not obsession, this is strategy, because they know that time is the most valuable currency, and clarity is how you invest it wisely. So here is your affirmation: I move with clarity. My day is not random. My actions are intentional. My focus is sharp, and my energy builds my future. Start small, but start today. Write your priorities. Refuse to drift. Choose direction over distraction. Because once you master clarity, your path accelerates. Opportunities appear. Not because they weren't there before, but because your mind is finally tuned to see them. Remember, clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates action. And action creates results. And in the game of success, results are everything, every morning. The average person wakes up and instantly thinks about what's missing, bills to pay, deadlines to meet, problems to solve. They focus on lack, and by doing so, they unconsciously invite more lack into their life. This is the tragedy of a problem-focused mindset. It blinds you to opportunity, it drains your energy, and it keeps you trapped in cycles of stress and scarcity. But there is another way, a way that Napoleon Hill himself insisted on gratitude. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. It is a deliberate shift of focus. It is the discipline of looking at what you already have and turning it into a foundation for more. Gratitude transforms problems into possibilities because it changes the lens through which you see the world. Think of two people facing the same challenge. One says, "Why me life is unfair. I can't win." Their focus collapses inward. Their energy shrinks. The other says, "This is tough, but I'm grateful I have the chance to grow through it. I'm grateful I have the health, the time, the mind to face it." Their focus expands, their energy multiplies, the problem becomes a stepping stone. Which one do you think succeeds? The answer is obvious. Gratitude is the seed of abundance. It rewires your brain to see opportunities where others see obstacles. When you focus on what is working, you naturally attract more of it. This is not mystical, it's psychological. Your mind filters reality based on what you focus on. If you dwell on problems, your brain hunts for more problems. If you dwell on gratitude, your brain hunts for more reasons to grow. Here's the truth. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties, but it equips you to meet them with strength instead of fear. Imagine driving through a storm. The storm doesn't vanish because you're grateful, but gratitude keeps your hands steady on the wheel. It keeps you calm, resilient, and focused on the road ahead. So how do you practice gratitude in a way that fuels growth? Start every morning by naming 3 things you're grateful for, specific things, not general cliches. Instead of saying, "I'm grateful for life," and say, "I'm grateful I woke up with energy today." Instead of, "I'm grateful for family," and say, "I'm grateful my daughter smiled at me before school." Specific gratitude turns vague positivity into powerful fuel. Next, link gratitude to your vision. For example, "I'm grateful for my ambition because it pushes me to build wealth. I'm grateful for this challenge because it is shaping my discipline." This transforms gratitude into momentum. It connects today's blessings to tomorrow's success. Wealth builders, leaders, visionaries, they all understand this principle. They don't waste time complaining. They redirect that time into creation. Complaining shrinks possibility. Gratitude expands it. Complaining is rooted in scarcity. Gratitude is rooted in abundance. And abundance is the soil where all growth begins. Here is your affirmation. I choose gratitude over complaint. I see possibilities where others see problems. My gratitude multiplies my growth. If you want to unlock consistent progress, and start here. Be grateful not only for what you have, but for what you are becoming. Be grateful not only for victories, but for the struggles that forged you. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you attract, how you act, and ultimately what you achieve. Because success is not built on fear of problems. It is built on gratitude for possibilities. And when you live with that mindset, the universe itself seems to open doors that once appeared locked. No one succeeds in isolation. Every empire, every fortune, every legacy was built not just on individual effort, but also on the influence of an environment. The voices you allow around you either build your belief or break it down. They either sharpen your vision or blur it. They either accelerate your success or anchor you in mediocrity. Napoleon Hill called this the mastermind principle, the idea that when two or more minds come together in harmony, they create a third, invisible force power. The right company multiplies your energy, sharpens your strategy, and fuels your resilience. The wrong company poisons your spirit, drains your ambition, and keeps you chained to small thinking. Look closely at the people around you. Are they builders, people who push you forward, who remind you of your potential, who challenge you to rise higher? Or are they doubters, people who spread fear, who laugh at your vision, who pull you back into the comfort zone because they are too afraid to leave it themselves? Here's the truth. Doubt is contagious. So is belief. Spend enough time with complainers and you'll find yourself complaining. Surround yourself with achievers and you'll find yourself taking bigger risks.
Facts, bro.
Speaking bolder words and building with greater discipline. Consider this. A young entrepreneur with a dream may give up if all their friends say, it's too risky, just play it safe. But if that same entrepreneur sits at a table with others who are building, investing, and creating, suddenly risk looks normal.
Wow.
Growth looks normal. Wealth
Wow.
looks possible. The dream becomes not just believable, but expected. Your environment is either your prison or your launch pad. If you surround yourself with negative voices, your mindset will shrink, no matter how strong your willpower is. But if you immerse yourself in an atmosphere of success books, mentors, podcasts, conversations, your belief will expand, your discipline will strengthen, and your results will multiply. Here's a simple test. After spending time with someone, do you feel more energized, more focused, more determined? Or do you feel drained, doubtful, and distracted? Your emotions after interaction tell you everything about whether that person belongs in your circle. The wealthy understand this well. They invest in networks. They pay to be in rooms where the conversation is about creation, abundance, and vision, not gossip, excuses, and fear. They know that one good connection can open doors that years of struggle never could. But this principle isn't just about who you know, it's about who you allow to influence you. Sometimes you cannot choose family, co-workers, or circumstances, but you can choose your input. If you cannot yet surround yourself physically with builders, you can still surround yourself mentally through books, audio, and daily affirmations. You can train your subconscious to listen to voices of strength instead of doubt. Here is your affirmation. I surround myself with builders, not doubters. My circle reflects my vision. My environment multiplies my growth. And remember, you don't need a crowd. You don't need hundreds of supporters. You need a handful of disciplined, focused, purpose-driven allies, quality over quantity, builders over doubters. A single strong alliance can lift you further than 100 empty acquaintances. Protect your environment. Guard your circle. Eliminate the voices that dilute your fire. Because your destiny is too important to be left in the hands of doubters, words are not harmless. They are seeds. Every word you speak plants something in your mind, in your spirit, and in the world around you. And those seeds, over time, grow into beliefs, habits, and realities. If you constantly speak doubt, fear, and excuses, do not be surprised when your life mirrors those words. If you speak faith, power, and possibility, Your life will begin to reflect that vision. Napoleon Hill taught that the subconscious mind does not argue, it accepts. Whatever you repeat with emotion, whether positive or negative, is absorbed as truth. This means your words are not just communication, they are commands. Each statement you make is an instruction to your subconscious, shaping the identity you will act upon. Think of the difference between saying, I can't do this, and saying, I am learning how to master this. One closes the door, the other keeps it open. One broadcasts weakness, the other builds resilience. The words may seem small, but their effects ripple through your behavior, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. Consider wealth. A person who constantly says, I'm broke, I'll never get ahead, is programming scarcity. Their subconscious will sabotage opportunities because it believes abundance is impossible. Another person says, I'm building wealth. I'm creating value. Money flows to me through discipline and service. Their subconscious begins to filter reality in alignment with that declaration. They notice opportunities. They take bolder actions. And they attract the very wealth their words have been affirming. This is why successful people guard their language with discipline. They do not waste words on gossip, negativity, or complaints. They speak with intention. They speak their vision aloud. They declare their goals as if they already exist, not because they are delusional, but because they understand that the subconscious mind obeys repetition and emotion. Here's a practical challenge. Eliminate weak language from your vocabulary. Stop saying, I'll try. Replace it with, I will. Stop saying, I hope. Replace it with, I expect. Stop saying, I can't. Replace it with, I am learning. Small shifts in words create massive shifts in identity. Even casual language matters. If you constantly joke about failure, your subconscious does not laugh, it listens. If you constantly declare stress, your subconscious believes stress is your natural state. The opposite is also true. If you declare strength, your subconscious enforces it. If you declare abundance, your subconscious hunts for it. If you declare discipline, your body follows. Here is your affirmation. My words shape my world. I speak power, focus, and abundance into my life every day. To practice this, start your mornings with declarations of success. Say them out loud. Say them with emotion. Don't just whisper them. Speak as if you are commanding an army, because you are commanding the army of your subconscious mind. Say, I am disciplined. I am focused. I am creating wealth. I am unshockably. These words, repeated daily, become laws in your inner world, and your outer world will bend to match them. Remember, language is not decoration. It is construction. Every sentence you speak is either building a future of power or a future of weakness. Choose your words as carefully as a builder chooses bricks, because with enough repetition, those bricks will form the palace you live in or the prison you cannot escape. Before any great achievement exists in the physical world, it must first exist in the mind. Every building was once a sketch. Every empire was once a vision. Every fortune was once a picture in someone's imagination. That is the power of visualization, the ability to see what is not yet visible and hold it until reality has no choice but to catch up. Napoleon Hill called this autosuggestion The practice of impressing your desires onto the subconscious mind through repeated visualization and affirmation. Why is this powerful? Because the subconscious does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. To your inner mind, what you see consistently becomes real. And once your subconscious accepts an image, it begins to direct your behavior, your energy, and your focus toward making it happen. Think about athletes. The greatest champions in the world visualize themselves winning before they step onto the field. They see the shot going in. They feel the victory. They rehearse success in their minds until their body knows exactly how to perform it under pressure. Business leaders do the same. They visualize deals closing, products launching, wealth multiplying. The external result always follows the internal rehearsal. The problem is that most people are already visualizing without realizing it. They visualize failure. They replay worst-case scenarios in their minds. They imagine rejection, loss, and defeat. And then
Come on,
life
Trav,
mirrors
turn
those
it the
images.
fuck on up.
Not because they are cursed, but because they gave their subconscious a blueprint of fear. Visualization is not fantasy. It is a tool of focus. It is the deliberate act of choosing the images your mind will work to fulfill. If you hold the image of wealth with discipline, your subconscious begins to filter reality for opportunities that lead to wealth. If you hold the image of health, your subconscious nudges you toward habits that protect and restore your body. The clearer the image, the stronger the pull. Here's how you practice it each morning. Take 5 minutes to close your eyes and picture the life you are building. Be specific. Don't just say, I want success. See the success. See yourself stepping into the office you dreamed of. See the numbers in your bank account. See your body healthy and strong. Feel the emotions. Confidence, gratitude, abundance. Make the image so real that your subconscious cannot ignore it. Pair visualization with affirmation. Say, this is who I am. This is what I am building. This is my reality. The words reinforce the picture. The picture reinforces the words. Together, they create a cycle of belief that transforms hesitation into conviction. Visualization is not waiting for the universe to deliver. It is preparing your inner world so you can recognize and seize what the universe is already offering. Opportunities appear every day, but only those who are tuned to the right image can see them. Your vision is the filter. Without it, you will miss what is right in front of you. Here is your affirmation. I see my success clearly. My vision guides my actions. What I hold in my mind, I create in my life. Remember, what you consistently see in your imagination becomes the magnet that shapes your reality. Do not waste this power on fear, doubt, or limitation. Use it deliberately. See yourself as the disciplined, wealthy, purposeful person you are becoming. See it every morning. Hold it every night. And one day, when you open your eyes, the vision will no longer be just in your mind. It will be the life you live. Every person faces storms, setbacks, rejection, failures. Delays, they come for all of us. But here's the difference. Average people see challenges as stop signs. The successful see them as signals to grow. The wealthy, the disciplined, the unstoppable. They do not ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, how can I use this? Resilience is not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about refusing to let those problems dictate your future It's about training your mind to see every obstacle as fuel, every setback as a setup for a stronger comeback. This is the daily habit of resilience, using resistance to build strength instead of weakness. Think of a muscle. It only grows when it is tested under pressure. The weight tears the fibers, and through recovery, they rebuild stronger. Life works the same way. Challenges are not punishments. They are weights designed to strengthen your character, sharpen your focus, and prepare you for the greater victories ahead. Most people quit when the pressure rises. They see difficulty as a sign to stop. But achievers, those who dominate life, lean into the resistance. They understand that problems are not roadblocks, but raw material. They are the building blocks of strength, patience, and determination. Napoleon Hill reminded us, every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The key word is seed. Seeds are small, invisible at first, but if you nurture them, they grow into something powerful. Every challenge you face carries hidden opportunity. If you stay focused long enough, you'll discover it. Resilience is built through perspective. Instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, say, I'm being redirected. Instead of saying, this broke me, say, this is shaping me. Words shape your mindset, and mindset shapes your resilience. Consider the entrepreneur whose first 3 businesses failed. Each failure looked final. But instead of quitting, they studied what went wrong, applied the lessons, and launched again. By the 4th attempt, success arrived not by accident, but because resilience turned pain into preparation. Wealth is no different. Financial setbacks are inevitable. Lost deals, missed opportunities, unexpected expenses. The undisciplined panic and give up. The resilient adjust, learn, and keep building. And in the long run, resilience, not talent, separates those who create lasting wealth from those who collapse under pressure. So how do you make resilience a daily habit? You practice small comebacks. When you face a delay, instead of complaining, use the time to sharpen your skills. When someone doubts you, let it fuel your determination instead of your insecurity. When life says not yet, respond with, watch me keep going. Here is your affirmation. I turn challenges into fuel. Every setback strengthens me. My resilience is unbreakable. Remember, life is not supposed to be easy. It is supposed to refine you. The obstacles in your way are not there to stop you. They are there to sculpt you into someone who cannot be stopped. Resilience is not a trait you are born with. It is a decision you make daily.
Oh, yes.
And once it becomes your habit, nothing in this world can break you. Every morning when you wake up, you are given the most valuable gift in existence this moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. Yet most people spend their energy trapped in the past, regretting mistakes, replaying failures, or lost in the future, worrying about what might happen, fearing outcomes that may never arrive. And in doing so, they lose the only thing they can ever control, the present moment. Napoleon Hill taught that thoughts become things, but here's the key thoughts. Only have power when they are alive in the now. You cannot think your way into success tomorrow unless you act on that thought today. You cannot rewrite the past by obsessing over it. But you can shape the future by mastering your focus in the present. Staying present doesn't mean ignoring your goals. It means aligning your attention with the only space where action exists this moment. The past is memory. The future is imagination. But now is opportunity. Now is power. Now is the starting line of every miracle. Mindfulness is simply the discipline of being where you are, fully. When you eat, to be with the food, not your phone. When you work, be with the task, not your distractions.
Deep.
When you rest, to be with the peace, not your worries. This level of focus multiplies your energy and sharpens your productivity because your power is no longer scattered across 1,000 regrets and fears. It is concentrated into one laser beam of intent. Think about wealth creation. You cannot earn money yesterday. You cannot deposit future income into your account today. But you can take action now. Send the email. Make the call. Build the skill. Invest in the idea. The seeds of abundance are always planted in the soil of the present moment. If you waste today worrying about tomorrow, the soil remains empty. The same is true with relationships. You cannot heal someone by replaying arguments in your mind, and you cannot love them tomorrow. But you can listen, connect, and express gratitude. Now, those small acts of presence, repeated daily, compound into unshakable trust and intimacy. Here's the danger if you don't control your mind. The world will steal your presence. Notifications, gossip, all news. They are designed to hijack your attention and scatter your focus. That's why mindfulness must become your shield. Begin each morning by telling yourself, I live in the now. I focus my energy on what I can control today. This simple declaration trains your subconscious to stay grounded. When stress rises, pause and breathe. When your mind races ahead, pull it back with a simple question. What can I do right now to move closer to my vision? That one question pulls you out of fear and back into focus. Here's your affirmation. I am present. I own this moment. I choose focus over distraction, action over delay, and peace over worry. Because the truth is, this life is not lived in some distant future or frozen in the past. It is unfolding here, breath by breath, choice by choice. Master the present, and you master everything. Every morning you wake up, you have a choice. Carry the weight of yesterday into today, or set it down and walk lighter into your future. Most people don't realize how much energy they lose by clinging to regrets, guilt, bitterness, and missed opportunities. The past becomes a heavy backpack strapped to their shoulders, slowing every step, draining every ounce of focus. Here's the truth. The past cannot be changed. It is gone, but it can still control you if you allow it to live rent-free in your mind. Napoleon Hill reminded us that your subconscious accepts what you feed it. If you replay failures, betrayals, and mistakes, your subconscious will assume that is who you still are, and it will act accordingly, sabotaging your confidence, weakening your decisions, and limiting your opportunities. But when you release the past, you make space for something greater. You allow your subconscious to accept new commands, new images, new possibilities. You give yourself permission to grow. Forgiveness, whether of yourself or others, is not weakness. It is freedom. It is cutting the chain that ties you to moments you cannot change. Think about it this way. You cannot fill a jar with fresh water if it is still filled with mud.
Yep.
You cannot receive abundance if your hands are still clenching old pain. You cannot build wealth, success, or peace while your attention is locked in memories of scarcity or betrayal. To rise,
Up. Up.
you must empty the jar. To move forward, you must release the grip. Releasing the past
Yeah.
doesn't mean forgetting. It means extracting the lesson and discarding the weight. Failure teaches discipline. Betrayal teaches discernment. Loss teaches gratitude. Once you have learned, you no longer need to carry the pain. The lesson is the treasure. The suffering is optional. Here's a practice each morning. Declare, I forgive myself. I release the past. I am free to begin again. Say it out loud.
Jesus.
Feel the words. Imagine yourself setting down a heavy bag and walking away lighter. Your subconscious will absorb that freedom and begin to direct your energy toward creation instead of regret. This is also vital for wealth and success. Many people sabotage their financial journey because they are haunted by past mistakes, bad investments, poor choices, missed chances. They relive those losses every day, which creates fear of taking action now. But wealth only comes to those who move forward with boldness, not those who freeze in the shadow of yesterday. Resilience means using the past as a teacher, not a prison. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are those who fall. Learn and rise without carrying unnecessary weight. Every sunrise is proof that you have been given another chance to create. Why waste it replaying old stories? Here's your affirmation. I am free from yesterday. I carry only wisdom, not regret. I create space for new beginnings and greater success. Remember this, you cannot drive into your future while staring only in the rearview mirror. The windshield is larger for a reason. The universe is not interested in your excuses about the past. It is responding to your focus right now. Release the old chapter. Turn the page. And write something extraordinary with today. Expectation is one of the most powerful forces in human life. What you expect consistently, you invite into existence. If you expect failure, your mind will prepare for it, and your actions will align with it. If you expect success, your mind will prepare for victory, and your actions will naturally push you toward it. That's why Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Belief is expectation in action. Hope is not weakness, it is strategy. It is not passive, it is power. To expect good things every morning is to program your subconscious with the belief that opportunity is on its way, that solutions exist, that abundance is flowing. And when your subconscious accepts that, it begins to filter the world for proof. Suddenly, you notice ideas you would have missed, people you would have ignored, chances you would have overlooked. But most people live with the wrong expectation. They wake up expecting problems, expecting delays, expecting life to work against them. And life obliges, their expectation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why guarding your morning expectation is critical. The first word you tell yourself each day must be, good things are coming my way. Think about wealthy people. They don't wake up expecting to lose. They expect deals to close, investments to grow, opportunities to multiply, and even when they face setbacks, they expect comebacks. That mindset keeps them moving forward, while others freeze in fear. The same is true for health, relationships, and personal growth. Expectation sets the tone. Hope is the fuel that keeps persistence alive. Without it, discipline feels like punishment. With it, discipline feels like preparation for something greater. When you expect good things, You can endure challenges because you know they are temporary. You can push through setbacks because you believe success is still ahead. Expectation must be paired with action. Saying, I expect wealth while sitting idle is delusion. But saying, I expect wealth while taking bold steps, while learning, while building that expectation becomes magnetic. The universe responds to the signal of belief backed by effort. Here's a practice each morning. Visualize one good thing that could happen today. It could be a breakthrough idea,
Oh, yes.
a new connection, an unexpected opportunity.
Boom.
Picture it, feel it,
Boom.
and then say, I expect good things to happen for me today. This is not blind optimism. It is training your mind to seek the positive, the possible, the powerful. Here's your affirmation. I expect success. I expect abundance. I expect breakthroughs. My hope is stronger than fear, and my expectation shapes my reality. Remember, expectation is not a wish. It is a command to your subconscious. It is telling your mind, look for reasons to win. Look for signs of growth. Look for doors that open. And the more you expect it, the more your actions, your energy, and your focus align to make it real. So do not wake up expecting problems. Wake up expecting solutions. Do not wake up expecting scarcity. Wake up expecting wealth. Do not wake up expecting setbacks. Wake up expecting comebacks. Because what you expect with faith and reinforce with action, the universe cannot deny every morning. One question decides the direction of your day. Will I act on my feelings, or will I act on my discipline? Most people lose this battle before their feet even touch the ground. They check their mood, and if they don't feel like it, they delay. They wait for motivation, for inspiration, for the perfect moment. And as they wait, their dreams grow colder, their momentum fades, and their potential is buried under hesitation. But greatness is never built on feelings. Feelings are temporary. They rise and fall like the weather sunshine one moment, storms the next. If you build your future on feelings, you build it on sand. Discipline it. On the other hand, is rock. It is steady, unshackable, and unchanging. Discipline is the choice to act according to your vision.
It was incredible. I posted the VOD to Twitch and YouTube.
Napoleon Hill taught that consistency is the bridge between desire and success. You may have the strongest vision in the world, but without consistent, disciplined action, it remains only a dream. Wealth, growth, abundance, these do not come to the wishful. They come to the consistent. They come to the man or woman who shows up every day, no matter how they feel, and executes with precision. Think about the athlete who trains not only when inspired, but also when tired, sore, or unmotivated. Think about the entrepreneur who builds their business, not just when sales are high, but also when setbacks strike. These people understand a simple law: discipline compounds. Each small act, repeated daily, multiplies into results so powerful that talent and luck cannot compete. Feelings whisper excuses. Rest more. Do it later. You've done enough. Discipline speaks truth. You made a commitment. Follow through. One more step, one more repeat, one more move. And each time you choose discipline over feeling, you reinforce an identity. I am consistent. I am reliable. I am unstoppable.
Let's get some
The
chest
secret
flies
is,
going.
this discipline is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing the right thing repeatedly. Success is not created in a single leap. It is stacked brick by brick. One disciplined morning leads to a disciplined week. A disciplined week compounds into a disciplined year. And a disciplined year shapes a legacy. Here's your morning reminder. Motivation is optional.
Oh, I put it on manual
But
focus.
discipline is mandatory. You don't need to feel powerful to act powerfully. You don't need to feel inspired to take the first step. The action itself creates the feeling. The discipline itself creates the motivation. So each morning, tell yourself, I honor my commitments, not my emotions. I live by discipline, not by mood.
Seated today.
My consistency
Let's do it.
creates greatness.
All you gotta
Say
do.
it until your mind believes it. Until your body obeys it.
sucks.
Until your results prove it. Because at the end of your life, you will not be remembered for what you felt. You will be remembered for what you built. And what you build depends on how consistent you were in honoring your vision when nobody was watching. Every morning, the first voice you hear is your own. And now you carry with you 14 powerful declarations, 14 mental commands that can rewire your reality, sharpen your discipline, and magnetize abundance into your life. But remember, this knowledge, without application, is wasted. These affirmations only transform you when you speak them.
Fly set.
Repeat them. And live them. Your mornings
Actually,
are the
go forward a
foundation
little
of your
bit more
destiny.
so we get a better stretch.
Guard them, command them, dominate them.
There we
Tell
go.
yourself daily,
I'm gonna start by curling up the biceps so I don't put too much strain on the rotator cuff.
I am
And then I'm gonna
unstoppable.
press
My life bends
to start.
to the strength of my discipline
And then we're gonna
the
go into
clarity
the
of my
flies.
vision. This is not just about motivation,
There
it's
we
about
go.
transformation.
Pinch
Not
those
tomorrow.
rotator cuffs /
Not
rhomboids
someday.
together.
It begins now with the thoughts you choose, the words you declare, and the actions you take. So take these 14 truths and make them your code of living. Speak them with fire. Live them with conviction. And watch how your mornings stop being routine and start becoming the launch pad of your greatness. Because when you master your mornings, you master your life. If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit the like button to spread the energy. Subscribe to Think Rich Mindset Hub for more timeless Napoleon Hill inspired wisdom. And in the comments below, tell us, which of these 14 truths will you start declaring every morning? Remember, success is not built on luck, it's built on focus, disciplina, and consistency. Let's rise together.
Fuck yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what the doctor ordered today is some fucking seated cable chest flies. Jesus. All right, Panelito, have a blessed day. Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah, that was fucking great. Let's go again.
This is a story about now or never. About the pain of pushing through the discomfort of the present moment, or the repercussions of shackling yourself to regret for eternity. Trust me, I'll be the first to admit life is messy and complex, and largely lived in the gray space. It's a game of nuance and detail, of interpretation.
Wrist wraps.
But sometimes, oh, sometimes, my friends, it's much simpler. Sometimes life comes down to two options. getting it done.
Maybe mix a little creatine up. I don't think I need the
Wondering what
electrolytes
life
today.
could have been
Get that
if you had the
creatine.
courage to.
I'll get the creatine in.
A few weeks ago, I did some rucking in Sedona
Fuck
with my
yes,
friends
baby.
Zach and Adam. And the cool thing about this hike was that, you kind of work your way up the mountain, and then at the top, there's a series of pools you can jump into. It's really refreshing, a nice little reward after a long, hot trek. And so, ultimately, we arrive at our destination. We're setting down our bags, getting ready to jump in. And a group of kids, I'm guessing high school-ish, asked us about the cameras and what we were filming. We introduced ourselves, said we were making a video for YouTube. What kind? They asked. Well, I said the kind that if we do it right, inspires people to take life up a notch. They smiled, probably only half understanding what I was talking about, and then we went about our separate ways. And so maybe about 20 minutes later, I'm sitting on a rock with Zach and Adam, and I hear a shout from above me. It was one of those kids standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down, trying to convince himself to jump into the water below, just like all his friends had done. And you could tell he was visibly struggling. He called out, "Hey, speaker guy," to which I put two and two together and accepted the role of speaker guy. "What's up?" And he yelled back with kind of a half grin on his face, "Help me, give me a little something here." I look over my shoulder. Zach, who's always one step ahead of me, was smiling, had the camera rolling, and gave me a nod like, "Well, what do you have for him, speaker guy?" Funny enough, I've been in that same spot before. And I always
You're a
forget
big
that
dog
sometimes,
now.
But this time, I mean, literally, I've been in that position.
Biggest
Standing
of
on
the
edge of
baddest.
cliff, very similar to that one. Scared to jump in, just like all my friends had done. I even wrote a speech about it, maybe 7 years ago. Fair to say I'd earned that confidence. And so I laughed, I looked up, and I'm paraphrasing, but essentially said, "It's simple. You can jump now
Fuck
and only
yeah.
feel this way," right? The fear and anxiety for the next 10 seconds or so.
Big
Or you can
fucking
turn
beefy
around.
chest. Come on up.
And this moment will live on forever as one of cowardice in your mind. It's a giant almost on your record. Plus, and this is a giant plus, if you run away, your friends will definitely call you a punk. Immediately started counting the guy down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 1. 1. And eventually he jumped. And I can't speak for him, obviously, but it was such a relief. It was really awesome to see. It's always great to see someone have a breakthrough. Plus, it felt poetic to help someone in the same position.
Aye.
Not to mention, with cameras rolling, it was just a cool moment. A symbolic moment. Because life is somewhat cyclical. In these instances, they don't happen just once. If you're living life right, you find yourself here at that ledge again and again and again.
Yup.
But the context
baby,
is
yeah.
often
Fuck yeah.
higher the ledge, often further
Fuck.
up. The decision, though, well, that stays consistent. Do what scares you and grow, or run away and dance with that regret forever. And this is where I point the finger directly at you, where I plead with you to take a second. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what ledge are you on right now? What cliff have you been standing on, peering down at the very answers you so desperately need? The journey that's been calling. This is where I ask you to find the courage to jump into that very thing you fear most. Knowing that it's the only thing standing between the life you're living and the life you most want to be living. Perhaps our existence can be summed up as a series of cliffs. a process of calculated leaps into vast unknowns, where you don't even know you've made the right move until you find yourself submerged in the water below, knowing you conquered the demon that was doing everything it could to hold you back. But the demon's everything cannot hold a candle to your everything. Because your everything is determined by, well, you. Your everything goes as far as you choose to take it. Your everything stops when you stop. Your everything climbs as high as you want to ascend. So when you're in that moment, when you're on that ledge looking down at the portal to a new reality, taking in the world of what if, remember, what you feel isn't an indicator that the future is wrong, it is a toll. It makes sure you really want what you say you want. It's the price tag attached to what life could be. So don't let the friction of the present moment diminish a tomorrow with infinite upside. Because life will present to you many cliffs. It will color them with fear and anxiety and what ifs. But one thing pierces the heart of that monster. One word slays that dragon. One word connects your mountaintop to the next. Jump. Hey gang, Eddie here. So, I've been building something alongside Your World Within. It's called AGNS, Always Grateful, Never Satisfied. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know exactly what that's referring to. That duality of appreciating the present moment, but also not being afraid to ask the world for more, for diving fully into your potential. And I'd love for you to be a part of this journey as we build and build and build. I have a free newsletter, agnsnewsletter.com, where you'll get daily motivation, monthly challenges, as well as updates on all the exciting things we have coming around the corner. So if you're so inclined and you'd like to be part of this journey, I'd be honored for you to sign up. Link will be below. Look forward to seeing you there. I lost everything.
And are you?
And when you lose everything,
I was gonna say, it's not quite done.
Those words came from a good friend of mine.
You got
A man who
some
walked
chest
away
sets I
from the
gotta
life
finish.
he thought he was building, but not because he wanted to. He separated because, well, it all collapsed underneath him. The career that he'd worked so hard on, gone. A lot of the people that he trusted and relied on seemed to disappear. Certainty that essentially devolved into chaos. He blinked his eyes. It went from successful and on top of the world to homeless and on the streets of New York. Everything he built, gone. Everything he thought he knew, shattered. And although that seems like the end of a story, what it was the beginning of one. Because it was about transformation, not only of his circumstance, but seemingly of his soul. Right? This is not about someone just enduring or surviving, but it's like he awoke.
Oh yeah, baby, up.
Eventually seeing through the noise, false perception, through the performative layers that so many of us call life. And a few days ago in Austin, I asked him, hey, how do you walk so freely? How are you so unapologetically yourself, right? You say what you mean to an extent I've never seen. You don't tiptoe. You don't chase approval.
How?
And this is sitting across the table at breakfast. He's holding his
It's
coffee.
a simple,
Look, I've already
unfuckwithable
had life
attitude.
take everything away. What's life gonna do? Take it away again? When you've been stripped down to nothing, you realize that most of what you feared losing was never real to begin with.
Yeah.
And that really hit me. You know, I don't know that old version of my friend, but I know the version sitting across from me at breakfast now, and I can only imagine what that process, what that pressure cooker felt like. You know, but here's where it gets important for you, because his story is extreme. I'm guessing most people will never face the depth of loss he did. And let's be honest, we shouldn't have to lose everything to find clarity. We shouldn't need devastation to become free. What if we could learn the lesson from his journey without the extent of the tragedy? What if we
Bathroom break,
could
chat. We'll be
simulate
right
that
back.
fire without having to burn everything down to ashes? See, that's the difference between waiting and creating. Tragedy forced my friend to wake up. But maybe you don't have to wait for life to burn it down. You can choose discomfort. You can manufacture suffering. You can create situations that challenge your comfort zone, that earn your confidence, that build the clarity he found without the collapse. It's like forging steel. Right? You don't wait for the sword to break in battle. No, you temper it beforehand. You introduce it to heat and resilience, pressure, so that when the time comes, you are ready. If you want to grow, jump into the cold water. Say what you mean. Yes, even when it's awkward. Get up earlier than you think you can. Stand your ground when you'd rather nod, smile, and conform. Walk into the gym, the meeting, the room when every part of you wants to shrink or hide. Because the little manufactured battles, they become stepping stones. Each one proving to you that you are more than the voice of fear. Each one turning you into someone new. Talked about a moment recently about a kid standing on a rock ledge high above a lake. Summer day, his friends below, already laughing and in the water. But he's shaking, toes curled over the edge, mind racing, his brain like any brain, I'm sure, scanning for disaster. What if I fall wrong? What if I hit something? What if it goes poorly? But standing still is its own prison, and in this situation, perhaps the only prison, right? And so eventually he jumps, and when he comes up for air, breathless, eyes wide, he isn't just relieved, he is alive. He opened himself up to let the light in, becoming something new on the way down. He met a version of himself that hesitation could never reach. And that's the path for all of us. You can wait for the storm, or you can learn to dance in the rain. You can wait for the loss, or you can strip away those things that do not serve you. You can float through life hoping for peace, or you can go to war with your fears and create it. Which brings to mind an old tale from ancient China, where a great philosopher would tell this story about a wealthy man who captures this bird and locks him in a golden cage, but feeds him the rarest, most extravagant seed, the best food, offered it everything it could want, everything except freedom. Day after day, the bird sat still, wings tucked in. People marveled at its beauty, but it never sang. Then one day, the cage was left open, and though that bird was weak from confinement, it flew away and never came back. And when asked why the bird would leave a life of luxury, the old man said simply, because to be free and hungry is greater than to be full and imprisoned. Only in the sky could the bird remember who it truly was, and that's what we're talking about, right? You're not here to be admired in a metaphorical cage, to be playing a role in someone else's story. You're not here to be acting out a part prescribed for you. You're here to fly, to live truthfully, to sing your song even if it shakes the room. Freedom, it doesn't mean chaos necessarily. It means choosing what you give your energy to. It means protecting your time and honoring your energy and chasing what makes you feel alive and unapologetically cutting those things that don't. Because here's the truth. When you lose everything, life cannot take from you what you're willing to rebuild. And when you choose to give things up, the people-pleasing, the lies, the masks, you gain something worth far more. Yourself. We're not here to tiptoe through life. We're here to run through it like we were born to. Scraped knees, heart open, unshaken, to jump, to break, to rise again. Not as the same person, but as someone who knows what's real. We know what's possible. We know what's out there. The question is not, does it exist? The question is, will you choose it? The saying goes, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. But wait, they will tell you to aim lower. Not because you can't, but because they didn't. Because the unknown is loud and their fear is even louder. They'll tell you to want less, to shrink your reach, to trade your fire for comfort. They'll ask, why risk falling when you can learn to love the floor? They'll talk about gravity as though it's gospel, as though the pull downward is the only truth that matters. But what they'll never say, what they may never know, is that some are born with the stars in their eyes. Some are built to leap even when there is no net. Some would rather break trying to touch the sky than spend a lifetime kneeling to what is safe. No, you'll feel it. In the quiet moments when no one's watching, when the world is still and the spark returns, that flicker, that impossible thing you're told to put away. And in those moments, you'll wonder, is it foolish to reach? To stretch for something that no one else sees? To climb a ladder that completely disappears into clouds? To follow a path with no name, no trail, and no map? But what they never say is that the map is made by the one who walks. The trail is born of footsteps, not instruction. And the moon, well, maybe that moon was never the prize. Rather, it's the decision, the declaration, the raising of the hand to the sky and saying, I don't know what waits around the corner, but I will go anyway. And as for them, they won't understand that. They won't see the stars you passed through, or the galaxies you shaped with every setback. They won't feel the cold of the void you dared to enter, or the warmth of that first light after darkness. To them, you missed. You aimed high and you missed. But what they misunderstand is that you became something in the process. Falling through the stars, it still means you touched them. It still means you left the ground. It still means you learned to fly. See, they'll write stories about people like you without ever realizing they once warned you not to try. Because it's easy to measure life by trophies. It's easy to count only wins. When truth be told, meaning is found in motion, in becoming, in reaching beyond what was and towards the infinite upside. And no metal can capture that. No applause can echo long enough to match the silence you broke just by beginning. You'll lose people. You'll shed dreams. You'll bury old versions of yourself that begged you.
Get up! No!
But with each step, you'll remember the moon was never promised, only the journey. So keep climbing.
Fuck you!
Even when they laugh.
Fuck you!
Even when they don't get it. Even when they turn away. Even when the night offers no light back. Climb. Because what they call failure, you'll know as transformation. What they label detour, you'll see as design. And one day, and that day will arrive, they'll look up. They'll see a light shooting across the night sky that they cannot explain. They'll call it lucky, they'll call it magic, they'll call it miraculous, but you'll know. You'll know there was nothing miraculous about it. It was the fire in your lungs. The shaking hands that still reached out. The tired feet that didn't quit. The dream you protected when the world told you to let go. So when they tell you to aim lower, smile. Let them. Because they never saw the stars you were dancing through.
Yep. You ain't dimming my fucking light ever again. Ever.
This is a story about doing that thing in your soul that you know you're called to do. There's a quote by Carl Jung. He says, "You meet your destiny on the road you take to avoid it." And the first time I heard that, I paused. Not because it was poetic, but because just like when anything meaningful hits you, it feels personal. Like it was written for me. Describing chapters of my life that I hadn't quite closed. Here's a little pretext, about the way I once looked at the world. I used to think life could be outmaneuvered. That if I planned enough or calculated enough, if I stayed sharp enough, I could avoid the chaos. I could dodge pain. If I planned just right, I'd be able to skip all the hard parts. I used to think discipline and direction meant full control. But in so many contexts, they just bring about delay. Because what I feared never seemed to vanish. When I ran from it, it would simply wait. It would follow. And eventually it would reintroduce itself.
Again.
Not necessarily as
Okay.
a punishment, but as
Again.
a mirror of sorts, calling for reflection. And here's the thing, we don't get to negotiate with the path. We either walk it or get dragged through it. Because it always finds us. That's what destiny does. Now, don't mistake that for powerlessness.
Fuck.
This doesn't
yeah.
imply you don't have a say. In fact, you have more control than you can even imagine. The question is not whether the road exists. It does. The choice is in how you choose to meet it. You can lean in with open eyes and steady feet, or you can resist, delay, deny, until life and its relentless wisdom brings you back around. One path is painful, the other, still hard, but builds you. One is friction, the other is fire, transforming you into something more. Destiny doesn't
Yeah.
to let you stay.
Aristotle. Aristotle.
Within a story here. When I was in the corporate world,
Yep.
I talk about the value that I got from that
Big
time of
fucking
my life.
beefy chest now, Trev. Up.
I was fresh out of college, full of ambition. I was obsessed with the next title. I thought that success was about rising fast, about being safe in the role, the status, the corner office. And there was, at the time, a VP that I worked under, and she used to tell me, Manny, I see you being exceptional in learning and development. You have a gift for helping people understand, see value, helping them grow. And at the time, I just did not want to hear it. I was so reluctant to agree, dismissed it. Not because I didn't respect her, she was a superstar of a human being, but because I had tunnel vision. Learning and development, like that sounded soft, it sounded slow. I wanted to manage, to lead, right? To move widgets and metrics and, oversee a region of the country. Who cares about personal growth? Which, fate got the last laugh there. I ran, at least to the extent that I could, eventually left the industry. And wouldn't you know it, right? Years later, building my own brand, right? Leading a team of amazing people who, we all have the same mission of helping people grow and, make the most of their lives. It's not kind of what she suggested my skill set and value add was. It's exactly that. And I knew it. Because it felt good when I did it. I enjoyed it. But the ego said, no, you need to be managing the Northwest Division, whatever it was. Managing operations. It's not where I was meant to be, right? It was meant to help people grow and teach and build and inspire. I didn't choose that path back then, but it chose me, and maybe it chose me before birth, right? Eventually, I found the courage to circle back to it. Just like Jung said, I met my destiny on the road I took to avoid it. That resistance, that detour, well, as you can imagine, it wasn't just my story, it's everyone's story. There's a pattern in every great myth, every story of transformation. It's called the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell mapped it out. And the hero begins in a very ordinary world, safe, predictable, familiar. He's incentivized by the things that most people in his world are incentivized by. His limitations are certainly worldly. Then comes the call to adventure, a challenge, a whisper, a truth that you can't ignore. But what happens next? Well, almost every time the hero refuses the call. For those Star Wars fans
We answer
out
the
there,
call,
Luke
chat.
Skywalker,
Thank you for
he didn't
tuning in
want to
today.
leave home.
Little hour and a half chest. Back, little calves. Caught a great chest pump. Lats are feeling super wide as well. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Drop a follow on the YouTube. YouTube.com. I'll throw the socials up quick before we go. Add this new Snapchat, Jesus First 4444. Instagram is at TuckerFitness44. Twitch, you're already here. YouTube, we're live at. And Facebook, I kind of keep that small now, but I may add that to the socials here soon. Facebook.com. I'll do it right now. Fuck it. Text. Add text to the scene. Add source. Facebook.com. /Travis.J.Tucker. This is the Facebook, bros. Come on in. I gotta get a Facebook logo. Facebook logo. PNG. Save image as. Desktop. Save. Streamlabs. Enter. Image. Add source. Add new source. Fbook logo. Add source. Browse. Desktop. Facebook logo. Open. Done. Oh, it made a little weird thing around it, but it's gonna do. I like it. It adds character. Oh shit. Yes. That's it. I'm just gonna rename this one to Facebook Social. Done. Alright, this should go to the ending stream too, but I may have to adjust it. Yeah, hold on. Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't know if there's something wrong with this or if it's me. Could be me, or I just need to adjust that. I think my hand is on it. Oh, so this I have to hit Alt and then pull down. And there we go. More socials in the scenes. God bless everybody. Thank you for all the new followers. Thank you to all continuous subscribers. I will see y'all soon. Have a blessed, productive, peaceful, miraculous day. And choose optimism.